Welcome to Hong Kong Brief. The content of the briefing includes: veteran Hong Kong basketball star Lee off to European Championships with Team GB. How Hong Kong's new eMPF platform will impact employers and members. Chinese teen Pan smashes men's 100 freestyle record at World Championships. Hong Kong part-timers target Barcelona and Manchester United after going global. Dragon Co. ready to embrace discomfort as year of opportunity approaches. Veteran Hong Kong basketball star Lee off to European Championships with Team GB. South China Morning Post. Former Hong Kong basketball player Dale Lee Ka-yu is set to represent Great Britain at the Maxi Basketball European Championships in June. After moving to the UK, Lee signed up for GB Maxi Basketball and survived the selection process to earn a spot on the 12-strong squad. Lee said that the pace and physicality of the game in the UK took some getting used to, and that his experience as a player and coach in Hong Kong helped him find a spot on the team. He will compete in the competition in Pesaro, Italy. How Hong Kong's new eMPF platform will impact employers and members. South China Morning Post. Hong Kong is set to launch its eMPF platform, the most significant pension reform in the territory for 2 decades. The electronic platform will allow trustees, employers, and members of the Mandatory Provident Fund (MPF) to manage the scheme's 1.14 trillion Hong Kong dollars, $146.15 billion, of assets through a single platform. The eMPF platform aims to improve operational efficiency and reduce costs. The system will be launched in the second quarter of this year, with all 12 MPF trustees expected to be added by the end of 2025. Chinese teen Pan smashes men's 100 freestyle record at World Championships. South China Morning Post. Chinese teenager Pan Zhanle broke the men's 100-meter freestyle world record with a time of 46.80 seconds at the World Championships in Doha. Pan achieved the new mark leading off his team during the 4x100-meter freestyle relay. The 19-year-old shaved 0.06 seconds off the previous record. Italy took silver and the United States bronze in the relay event. Pan had only one world medal before these championships. The Netherlands won the women's 4x100-meter freestyle relay. South Korea's Kim Woo-min won gold in the men's 400-meter freestyle. Hong Kong part-timers target Barcelona and Manchester United after going global. South China Morning Post. Hong Kong amateur football team Apostle FC has partnered with UK-based Surprise Shirts to distribute its jerseys globally. The team, which competes in the part-time SS League, aims to establish its name beyond Hong Kong's borders and has already lined up a series of friendlies abroad. Surprise Shirts sells jerseys from teams around the world, with customers not knowing which club's shirt they will receive. Apostle FC founder Vincent Chow Ming-shing contacted Surprise Shirts to take advantage of the opportunity to promote the club worldwide. Dragon Co. ready to embrace discomfort as year of opportunity approaches. South China Morning Post. 23-year-old Hong Konger Tai Chi Ko, who starts his second season as a professional golfer this week, has said his strategy is to keep his options open about his future in the sport. Ko said he is ready to embrace anxieties and insecurities, and is preparing for a busy season of tournaments. Oil starts week lower after Israel says concluded Gaza strikes. Yahoo! Oil prices have fallen in early Asian trading hours after Israel said it had completed a series of strikes in southern Gaza, easing concerns about supply from the Middle East. The West Texas Intermediate was down 0.6% to $76.38 a barrel, while Brent crude futures were 0.5% lower at $81.76 a barrel. Last week, the fear of oil supply disruption in the Middle East over Israel's conflict with Palestine pushed prices up about 6%. Enter the dragon, let's show the world what Hong Kongers are made of. SCMP Opinion. The recent controversy surrounding Lionel Messi's absence from an exhibition game in Hong Kong has caused outrage among Hong Kongers. The Consumer Council is now dealing with complaints against the organizer, Tatler Asia. However, the author believes that Hong Kong will move on from this incident and show the world what it is made of. The city has faced many challenges in the past and has always come out stronger. The government needs to focus on its job of safeguarding residents' rights and freedoms, protecting national security, and delivering better policies and services for the people. Indonesia's Cigarette Girl takes on a macho world. Nikkei Asia. The Netflix TV series Cigarette Girl has become Indonesia's biggest hit of 2023 and is among the streaming platform's top 10 most watched films in 9 other countries. The show tells the story of Desia, the daughter of a cigarette magnate who dreams of producing her own Kretek cigarettes in the 1960s. Smoking, particularly of clove cigarettes, is deeply ingrained in Indonesian society, making the show relatable to many viewers. The series also explores the social and political history of Indonesia during the 1960s, including the country's crackdown on communism. Cigarette Girl has been praised for its beautiful cinematography and stunning sets, as well as its portrayal of strong Indonesian women. The success of the show has led to hopes that it will attract more international attention to Indonesian filmmaking. In Trump-Biden rematch, the only sure loser is China. Bloomberg. Former U.S. President Donald Trump is proposing a 60% tariff on all Chinese imports, a move that would essentially eliminate the $575 billion trade pipeline between the two countries, according to Bloomberg Economics. Trump's tough stance on China could put pressure on incumbent President Joe Biden to take harsher measures leading up to the 2024 election. While Biden may not propose anything as drastic as Trump's tariffs, his administration has already introduced new restrictions on data flows, electric vehicles, and other industries. Trump's tariffs would have a significant impact on China's economy, particularly in textiles and electronics, while Southeast Asia and Mexico would likely pick up the largest share of the trade slack. U.S. electronics firms would also suffer, as many of them manufacture their products in China. Additionally, American companies and consumers would face higher prices for imports. China is bracing itself for the possibility of escalating economic conflict with the U.S. Beijing is already dealing with a property crisis and a stock market slump, and intensified tensions with the U.S. could worsen the situation. Trump is currently leading in polls and has a history of taking aggressive action against China, while Biden has indicated a desire to work with U.S. allies to pressure China. However, Biden has also implemented export curbs on semiconductors and chip-making equipment and is setting up a screening program for U.S. investment in key industries. Trump's proposals are already causing concern among investors, and China's economy may face additional pressure before the election. Trump's proposed 60% tariff on Chinese imports would have a dramatic effect on the trade relationship between the U.S. and China. The tariffs would essentially eliminate the trade pipeline between the two countries, leading to significant economic consequences for China. Biden may not propose anything as drastic as Trump's tariffs, but his administration has already implemented new restrictions on various industries. The impact of the U.S.-China trade war has been negative for China, contributing to a slide in growth and creating uncertainty in corporate boardrooms and financial markets. China's economy may face further pressure as tensions with the U.S. continue to escalate. China's cashless society shift is keeping foreign tourists from opening wallets. South China Morning Post. The lack of payment options for foreign tourists in China is deterring visitors from traveling to the country, hindering Beijing's efforts to boost foreign relations and economic recovery. China's dominant mobile payment providers, WeChat Pay and Alipay, have recently allowed overseas tourists to link their international credit or debit cards to their platforms, but there are still limitations and service fees associated with foreign cards. Furthermore, many tourists are reluctant to use mobile payments due to privacy concerns, and the decline in ATMs across the country has made it difficult for visitors to withdraw cash. Singapore, Hong Kong SPAC failures highlight thwarted ambitions. Nikkei Asia. Special Purpose Acquisition Companies, SPACs, in Singapore and Hong Kong have failed to deliver the expected era of quicker listings of tech startups on Asian exchanges. Most SPACs listed on the bourses of the two financial centers have failed to bring privately held companies onto the stock exchanges. Meanwhile, no new SPACs made their debuts in Singapore or Hong Kong last year. The poor performance of SPACs in Asia has been attributed to low investor interest and a lack of appetite for risk, as well as the impact of rising interest rates and market conditions. In addition, the performance of D-spaced entities has been lackluster, with share prices falling significantly after the companies went public. Despite the underwhelming results, exchanges in Singapore and Hong Kong have not ruled out future SPAC listings, but analysts suggest that the experiment with SPACs in Asia may be over. Japan is breaking new ground with its climate transition bonds. Nikkei Asia. Japan is set to issue 20 trillion yen, $135 billion, of climate transition bonds over the next decade to support investment in the green transition of its power and industrial sectors. The first sale of 1.6 trillion yen of such bonds is due to start this week. The bonds will be the world's first sovereign climate transition bonds, and will also be the first transition bond to be backed by Emissions Trading System (ETS) revenues. The proceeds from the sale of emission allowances and a levy on fossil fuel imports will be used to repay the bonds. Over 670 companies, responsible for 40% of Japan's total emissions, are currently participating in the country's voluntary ETS. Japan's approach could help bridge the climate funding gap by leveraging future ETS revenue and the fossil fuel levy. The effectiveness of the bonds will depend on whether they are successfully launched, whether they become popular among investors, and whether the revenues generated are used effectively. See the beauty in Hong Kong's boring housing estates, don't tear them down. SCMP opinion. Hong Kong should not demolish its iconic public housing estates, such as the Choi Hung Estate and the Tai Hang Sai Estate, without considering repurposing the buildings and consulting with residents and the architectural community, according to architect Dennis Lee. Writing in the South China Morning Post, Lee argued that the Choi Hung Estate in particular provides an opportunity for a win-win-win makeover, benefiting tenants, tourists, and the government. Lee also suggested that the estates could be preserved as part of Hong Kong's architectural and cultural heritage. Beware sophisticated deepfake scams. SCMP opinion. The Hong Kong branch of an international company lost 200 million Hong Kong dollars, $25.6 million, after being duped by a deepfake video conference call. Scammers used artificial intelligence, AI, technology to create convincing moving images of company officials and imitate their voices. The victim made 15 large transfers to 5 Hong Kong bank accounts after being invited to a group video conference where recognizable staff appeared to be present. Investigators have not yet made any arrests. Police have advised taking steps to verify the identities of people appearing in sensitive online meetings by asking them to move their heads or answer questions. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your Sixth Doctor, coming to you from the 6 Degrees world. Today, I bring you a variety of news stories that highlight the achievements, challenges, and cultural developments happening around the globe. From sports to finance, entertainment to politics, we've got it all. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of news. In the world of sports, we have Hong Kong basketball star Dale Lee representing Great Britain at the Maxi Basketball European Championships in June. Lee's journey from Hong Kong to the UK demonstrates the global nature of sports and the opportunities for athletes to showcase their skills on an international stage. Speaking of Hong Kong, the city is launching its eMPF platform, a significant pension reform that will revolutionize how trustees, employers, and members manage the mandatory Provident Fund. This move towards digitization aims to improve efficiency and reduce costs, ultimately benefiting all parties involved. In swimming news, Chinese teenager Pan Zhanle has broken the men's 100-meter freestyle world record at the World Championships in Doha. Pan's impressive feat highlights the talent and potential of young athletes in China. Switching gears to football, Hong Kong amateur team Apostle FC is going global, partnering with UK-based Surprise Shirts to distribute their jerseys worldwide. This collaboration showcases the power of sports to connect people across borders and promote cultural exchange. On the topic of embracing opportunities, 23-year-old golfer Tai Chi Ko is preparing for a busy season of tournaments and is ready to face the anxieties and insecurities that come with being a professional athlete. Ko's mindset reflects the determination and resilience needed to succeed in any field. Shifting to the world of finance, oil prices have fallen after Israel announced the conclusion of its strikes in Gaza, easing concerns about supply in the Middle East. This development highlights how geopolitical events impact global markets and economies. In the realm of entertainment, the Netflix series Cigarette Girl has become a massive hit in Indonesia, exploring the social and political history of the country while depicting the strength of Indonesian women. The success of the show brings attention to the vibrant film industry in Indonesia and its potential to captivate international audiences. Moving on to politics, former U.S. President Donald Trump's proposal of a 60% tariff on all Chinese imports could have significant consequences for both countries and the global economy. While President Joe Biden may not adopt the same approach, his administration has already implemented new restrictions on various industries. The U.S.-China trade relationship continues to be a major point of contention and uncertainty. In the world of bonds and markets, Australian and New Zealand bonds have fallen ahead of U.S. inflation data that will guide the Federal Reserve's next moves. This highlights the interconnectedness of global financial markets and the impact of key economic indicators. The lack of payment options for foreign tourists in China is deterring visitors and hindering the country's efforts to boost foreign relations and economic recovery. This emphasizes the importance of convenient and accessible payment options in today's increasingly globalized world. On the topic of failed ambitions, SPACs in Singapore and Hong Kong have not delivered the expected results in terms of quicker listings of tech startups on Asian exchanges. Various factors, including low investor interest and market conditions, have contributed to the underwhelming performance of SPACs in Asia. In Japan, the issuance of climate transition bonds aims to support investment in the green transition of the power and industrial sectors. This innovative approach leverages emissions trading system revenues to finance the transition to a greener economy, potentially serving as a model for other countries. Lastly, architect Dennis Lee argues against demolishing Hong Kong's iconic public housing estates, suggesting that they be repurposed and preserved as part of the city's architectural and cultural heritage. This highlights the importance of preserving history and identity in the face of urban development. That wraps up our news roundup for today. I hope you enjoyed this journey through various topics and gained some insights along the way. Now, it's your turn. What are your thoughts on these news stories? Do you have any questions or opinions? Share them with us, and let's continue the conversation. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the world around you. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.